Dunkirk came out back in 2017, the year of the 28-3 comeback and the solar eclipse. And 6 years later, I can finally say I've watched this film. And where do I even start? Firstly, I'm a sucker for World War II movies, and I find them interesting. And seeing Christopher Nolan's name tagged into one was an immediate draw. I just never got around to watching it until now. Plus, the events at Dunkirk were so pivotal in the outcome of World War II, and it is a story that should be told. Which leads me to what I enjoyed most about this film, how they told it. This film found a way to showcase the stoicism, the bravery, and the selflessness that the soldiers, along with many civilians, showed, giving this film an inspiring and respectful touch, which was important due to the responsibility that Christopher Nolan, along with anybody that made the film, had. Their burden was to tell an entertaining story while also being faithful so they could share the story of many people who deserve to be recognized. To me, this movie stands on three great pillars: the story, the shots, and the scenes. All three gave the foundation for this movie to be an insightful, entertaining movie. So for the first pillar, the story. Like mentioned earlier, the source material had the roots for a great story. It was up to Christopher Nolan to propagate it and tell it in his own original way, which was exactly what he did. The three perspectives was such a great idea and gave him the opportunity to tell the story in a broader scope. You had the pilot's perspective, showcasing a glimpse of what it could have been like in the air and the tough decisions that had to be made. Had Mr. Dawson and his crew's perspective that showcased the bravery, the selflessness that many civilians showed, along with the sacrifices to save countless lives. It was said that around 700 civilian boats made the trip to Dunkirk. And then lastly, the soldier's perspective that showcased the fear, the hopelessness, and the will to survive. All three perspectives were interesting, and to me had validity in the feelings and decisions that some people made and had during that time. And speak of time, good old Christopher Nolan always spices it up, and he spiced it up with this film with the time manipulation, interweaving all of these three perspectives together, which to me benefited this movie tremendously. It felt new. Now I know if you've seen more than one Nolan film, time manipulation isn't anything new, but the way it was done felt like it. It was subtle. I'll admit it, I didn't catch the time manipulation till I saw Cillian Murphy on the rowing boat at night. I saw his face and like, oh shit. But to me, that made it hit harder when I did find out. It was seamless. It wasn't jarring, maybe a little confusing, but that confusion is what drew me in turn making me pay more attention, which in turn favored me with knowledgeable history dumps. So again, this story had the roots and was told in an original, entertaining way, and nothing screams entertaining more than the second pillar, shots. And no, not those type of shots. The set designs and just the decision to film on the real beach brought alive May 26 to June 4th, 1940, and gave the opportunity for great shots. And man, they took advantage of those opportunities. Here are 5 that jump out. A slideshow could be made for this movie. There was that many and they were that good. But let's get to the last pillar, the scenes. I could start anywhere, but why not in the beginning? The opening scene was so good because of the details. The flyers that said "we surround you" were actual flyers that Germans made during that time. But still, such a cool touch and good little detail. It set the tone for the film, and shout out that long take with the soldier running. Such a cool scene. Now jumping over to one of the best scenes in the film was when they were being bombed on the beach. That camera angle with the soldier with the bombs just blowing off right on the side of him and the sand launching on him was such a cool scene. That was just enhanced by practical effects. In a time where the special effects industry is just being pushed to the max, causing bad looking movies everywhere, these type of movies just look that much better now, giving it a quality, just a quality that many special effects movies just cannot attain nowadays. Just look at the Transformers movies. The first one that came out in 2007 and the last one in 2011. Those look better than the majority of movies that are being released today, and it's sad. But that's not a problem when you use practical effects, use real battleships, use real airplanes like this movie did. Just makes such a difference in the feel and the realness in the scenes and the whole film as a whole. Lastly, the last scene I want to mention is just all of them, with Cillian Murphy on the boat and the crew arguing about not wanting to go back to Dunkirk, and just all of it. It just added another layer to the movie. So there it is, the 3 pillars that I found made this film. I found it to be one of the better war films I have seen, definitely recently. I haven't seen that many, so take that for what you will. But I think it's pretty historically accurate. I might, do a deep dive on that, and that'll be another video. See how accurate it is, who knows. But to me, it did a great job at telling the story in an original, entertaining way and being faithful for what I know, which in turn just informs that many people to this event that was very important and deserves to be told. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you thought of the movie in the comment section below. I'm always interested to hear. Have a great week. Peace.